What's up everyone, this is Gene from Mahalo.com, and I'm going to be showing you how to adjust the curve settings of your image with the Photogene app on your Apple iPad. Before I get into the meat of the subject, I suggest that you take a look at the Histogram tutorial that I've done previously for the Photogene app, because I'm going to be referencing a lot of the ideas covered in that tutorial in order to better explain curves to you. First we start out by selecting the image that we're going to edit, and then we tap the adjustment setting located at the center of the menu at the bottom of the screen. Now another menu will open up from the right hand side of the screen, and you're going to see several sections. Here I want you to close each one by tapping the small triangle just to the left of the heading of the sections. We want only the histogram and the curves categories to be opened at this point. The curves adjustment is basically a more advanced version of the histogram. In the histogram section, we discuss the left and right sliders representing the black and white levels of your image respectively. The center point represents the exact middle between the two. If we select the Show Hide option in our menu, you'll see the curves graph appear on top of your image. This is another chart similar to the histogram, but this time instead of a simple one-axis adjustment, we now have control over both axes. The y-axis, which goes up and down on the graph, represents the pixel brightness. So the very top represents pure white, and the very bottom of the graph pure black. This is equivalent to left and right on our histogram. The x-axis, or left and right on the graph, represents the actual pixels. The far left represents all of the black pixels, and the far right are the white pixels. Now let's dig a little bit deeper. Let's go back to the histogram briefly. If we wanted all of the middle brightness pixels to become black, we would achieve this by dragging the black slider on the left to the center point on the histogram. This would result in every pixel that is behind the slider to the left rendering as though it were black. Now let's reset that and try to achieve the same effect on the curve slider. As you'll remember, the center point on the bottom of this graph represents all of the pixels that are of a middle value. So if we take the center point on the diagonal line and drag it downward, that will effectively change every pixel that is between black and the midpoint into pure black. We can achieve the opposite effect if we drag the center point upward. Here, all of the pixels to the right of the center point, which in this case are everything from middle brightness to white, will appear as pure white. The power of the curves adjustment is that we are not limited to just 3 sliders. We can choose any pixel color value and change it to any other value. The remaining values will then align themselves evenly amongst the values between that point and the next point, creating a curve where this correction option takes its name. Like the histogram, this is a pretty confusing adjustment. To sum it up, this line represents pixel color. If you would like any pixels along this line to be lighter or darker, simply create a point and then drag it to a lighter or darker position. This option is going to require a ton of experimentation to fully understand. And like I've pointed out before, you can always restore your photo to its default state just by tapping the original button at the top of the screen. That's all for now. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe below, and email any requests you may have to requests@mahalo.com. Thanks for watching!